I was filling out the application for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. I didn't really know that much would come.
It's teamwork. You communicate with...
What that involves is making sure I communicate and coordinate with each of the guidance departments.
We're building a ramp for someone who really
Don't
can't
give up just because it's hard, because I had a lot of times where I thought I wasn't going to make it.
Hi, welcome to Hometown Heroes. I'm your host, Andy Kitzrow. Today on our virtual Zoom Hometown Heroes show, we have Nathan Weeks. We haven't spoken with Nathan in a little bit of time, but we're definitely looking to catch up. So why don't I turn it over to Nathan, let him introduce himself, and you tell us what's been going on recently. Welcome.
Good morning, folks. Welcome. Well, my name is Nathan Weeks, originally from Salisbury, Maryland. With these good folks, I spent quite a few time during my formative years back in Salisbury. Right now, I live out in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a magistrate judge here in the city for the state of North Carolina, 26th Judicial District, which is Mecklenburg County, Charlotte, and the surrounding cities. I've been doing a lot of community service, really deep into giving back into the community, because I was fostered in that type of environment as a personal responsibility, pour back into those people around me as well. So it's a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's a great start. We are going to be diving into your past and fast forward into the beginning. But how'd you fall into your current position? And for those who may not know what the magistrate position does, give us a little bit of kind of background of what that looks like.
Okay, so starting with the magistrate judge position. So I'm a independent judicial official serving constitutional office. And that pretty much means my responsibilities fall within the General Court of Justice. So magistrate judges, particularly in Mecklenburg County, we have 3 different court systems that are unilateral. So we operate out of district court, which is mainly 9 to 5, and then arrest processing and magistrate court are 24 hours here in Mecklenburg County and throughout the rest of the state as well. So arrest processing, pretty much we deal with inmates and all their initial appearances when they get picked up, DWIs. You get pretty much when you get booked by law enforcement, you'll be coming down to see us. Sometimes work out of there. District court, we do everything from traffic, small claims, misdemeanor offenses. We also do a lot of civil cases, a lot of civil hearings as well, involuntary commitments that operates out of district court as well as magistrate court. And as going over to magistrate court itself, we deal with the community. So you can, individuals coming in to swear out warrants or charges against other people, all law enforcement has to come see us when they want to press charges or swear out charges against anyone. So we'll find probable cause on these charges and things like that. Search warrants, we conduct arraignment hearings, appoint counsel, civil proceedings, everything like that. So we just kind of blend it. We're the gatekeepers to district court. So all of our hearings, there's no jury. So we rule on the spot, and sometimes be very stressful with that rule on the spot based on the facts that are presented to you. And a lot of our hearings will get sent up and adjudicated in the district court, but district court judge later on the docket.
There's a lot there. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So how do you fall into this position? I know it's not something you do out of high school. I know you got this whole history of school. Yeah. But when you were thinking about law school and stuff, did you want to go and be a judge, or did you want to litigate kind of from the other side of the bench?
To be completely honest with you, I had no intention of being a judge until I was older, get ready to retire from law. The process to the bench is very, very difficult, and it's very stringent and serious. So this opportunity was a blessing, kind of sought me out. I've been before the courts to a lot of the judges that are now my colleagues. Went to law school out of Charlotte School of Law, and then graduating from law school. Even while I was in law school, I did I worked at a public defender's office as well as the expungement clinic. So a public defender's office, I did a driver's license restoration, and it was a clinic that was given to community and individuals who couldn't afford counsel, and it was to help individuals primarily freshly released, or if they just kept getting failure to appears and revocations due to the fact they have to go to work. So I would assist with that clinic. It was free of charge to individuals in the community to try and get their license restored. And then from there, I went and volunteered and worked as a student attorney out of the actual Mecklenburg County Courthouse where I work now. We did the expungement clinic. And that was, we worked a lot with the Urban League, and that's for any individuals in the community that had, criminal charges on their history. If they, whether it was now, 20 years ago, whatever, they wanted to see if they could get them eligible to get expunged. I would work with them and work with the attorneys and work with community and help them get expunged. And I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. But throughout all those processes, I was exposed to a lot of other attorneys, district attorneys, prosecutors, defense attorneys, especially out of the public defender's office, and a lot of the district court judges who are there now. So when this opportunity came up, they kind of sent it my way and said, hey, you should definitely take a look at this. And so I just threw my hat in the ring. Hey, okay, not really expecting it was heavy competition from other judges from other counties that were moving to Charlotte and other prosecutors and district attorneys, stuff like that. But I was blessed with the opportunity. So doing everything I can to fulfill my duties in this office.
Cool. Well, before we go all the way back to the beginning and work our way through law school, I did want to touch on kind of the nature of your position and what you're doing in the public defender's realm. It can be very difficult to navigate the entire judicial process, and the people who don't have the resources afforded to them, or people that are either behind their support system, can be a scary unknown thing, and then people could fall through the cracks. And so how did it kind of make you feel being able to serve the people who are kind of in that difficult time in their life, just to get properly I guess navigate that system and not be taken advantage of, and to be off in a better place?
It's a very good question. Thank you for that. I feel like it's definitely fulfilling. So the judicial system as a whole, even to new attorneys, is very intimidating. So if you don't know anything about the judicial system, you're coming in, you have charges, you got a case or anything like that, you don't know what to do. And what I experienced, particularly in the public defender's office, there'd be a lot of people that wanted to fight. They wanted to fight. They wanted to fix whatever was wrong. However, they didn't know how to, because the judicial system is this humongous beast. So I counted it a privilege to be able to say, okay, I'm going to step in the ring and fight for you. You might not know how to fight, but I know how to fight this fight right here. So being able to step in and navigate their energy and their efforts, and then hone it in on the areas that we needed to help assist them, that being able to impact someone's life with real, instant results and change, that's priceless. And so given this opportunity, that translates over here to my seat on the bench. As Magistrate Judge, I owe a duty to both the judicial system, but I also owe a duty to the citizens of this county and this state to be a gatekeeper and to make sure whatever processes are going to be moving forward, they're done the right way. So I can stand in the gap and really be a determining factor early on in the process before it becomes extremely cumbersome and very expensive on the back end. And it really boils down to, these are people's lives. These criminal records follow and travel you everywhere you go. And a lot of people, they just want to work, just want to get a job, they just want to live a good life for themselves and their families. And I try to do my best to make sure I keep a very, very reasonable balance.
I'm glad you respect the privilege that you have of kind of being that gatekeeper, because you do, in a sense, have people's livelihoods in the balance of kind of decision making, and taking that seriously is really important. Now, so think about the gatekeepers, or the people who had your life and your balance 20 years ago.
Yes, sir.
The Paula Morrises of the world, the kids of honor people, the teachers, the parents.
The Andys, the Dr. Whiteheads.
Dr. Whitehead. Yeah. So let's reflect back on, here you are now, and then you were there. Tell me what kind of this, it's been a long period of time. What are your, the emotions, the thoughts on, having people who help you navigate into this system that has now helped create a path forward for you? I know you've done a lot of hard work along that path, but let's let's think about if those opportunities weren't necessarily afforded to you, would you be able to be where you are right now?
Yeah, 110%. All of you guys, Andy's, the Paulas, the Dr. Whiteheads, have played an integral part of my success and where I am today. You guys believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. I always knew I had a great destiny and plan and purpose for my life, but you guys helped facilitate that dream. You helped me see that manifest destiny and helped me see the routes and opportunities that could get me from point A to point B. And that's really what a lot of communities lack, is the foresight and the support. So all you know is all you know. And if you don't know an opportunity exists or a route exists, if you're willing to put the hard work in, then there's not going to be any hard work to be put in. And to have people that are older than you, that are more successful than you, that come from different walks and paths of life, that believe in you, that's paramount. And so I literally translate that into my work every day. My shared experiences over time, I feel like it helps form my perspective, and I have a much broader range perspective than a lot of other judicials that may be working with me alongside me because of the type of upbringing I had, because of the life that I lived, because of the experiences that were shared with me, and not just the experience I had to live, but the wisdom and knowledge that was imparted from you guys. So I don't just have my own mistakes and successes to draw from, but I can draw from the shared mistakes and success that you guys have shared with me over time, so that I no longer have to make those mistakes, and I can continue to share that with others so they don't as well.
I appreciate the shout out. You did the hard work. After Kids of Honor, I think that was in Youth Leadership Academy. I think that's where we kicked things off in our first conversation with you. And then you went away to college, and football was a big part of your path in the high school.
Yes, sir.
Was the lawyer route always there?
While I was in college, I actually studied overseas at the University of West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica for 2 years. I was doing prostate cancer research. While I was in school, I actually got into med school, and then I got into med school at UE. And then I think as we came back, I was like, man, while I was in college, I changed my major 3 times, because okay, this is not fun, it's not fulfilling. I really want to help people, but I want to make good money doing it. And what actually clicked is I was helping a friend out that had gotten in trouble with school, and I was like, well, let me help redo the student manual. And I helped him formulate his defense. And at the time, I was serving in the SGA. So when you're serving in the SGA, when you get in trouble by judicial services at school, you can have a student representative. So he was like, hey Nate, would you help me out, like be my rep? And I was like, I could help you out. Let me just take a look at it. So I looked at the things he was facing, and we really I spent a couple hours, and the way I flowed through that handbook and formulated his defense, that next morning, I was just like, man, I could really do this for a living. And I really he won, everything was dropped. And I was like, man, I could really make a living out because I thoroughly enjoyed helping him, but also figuring it out in that way, pursuant to the codes and laws and policy and procedure. So I started studying for the LSAT. I talked to my advisor. He said it was a great move, because I was also the debate team captain at the time. So some of our debates, we had to actually debate at law schools, and I was getting pretty well. And I was like, man, I could really I could do this. I could do this for a living. So that's when I started studying for the LSAT, and then I got offered a scholarship to law school. After I passed my LSAT, I got a good school, offered a scholarship, and I was like, this is the route I'm gonna take for sure, 100%.
Yeah, people know, if you know Nathan, he's got a gift for the gab. He can talk.
Just a little bit.
Smooth talker there. But it's great. It's interesting along our path, how things happen. But it's interesting how there's life events happen that make you or wake you up to a different path, and how it can turn really quickly, and then you just embrace it and go for it.
Absolutely.
So one of the things you mentioned earlier was, your role with the larger county, and you kind of being kind of a gatekeeper, but also a representative of the county that you're in right now.
Yes, sir.
It reminds me of when we all did all American cities, when you
Absolutely.
were representing our community.
Yep.
What's it like being able to, you can reflect back on that experience too, but what's it like being able to kind of be that figurehead of a larger population? So they're looking to you to argue for or represent.
It's extremely humbling. I don't take any, it's easy to say I don't take, but I can't take any moment lightly. And so I'm extremely aware, conscious, and cautious about the things that I say, the places I go. And it really boils down to, I always want to be a great representative for those that I represent. And with this type of responsibility and privilege that's been given to me, I want to represent well. And that's for anyone that's ever bet on me. You guys know, you guys bet on me. Hey, Nate, I want you to be a part of this opportunity. I'm going to go all out. You're going to get a return on that investment every time. So, and one of the things I failed to mention that brings, it will help bring more, round out why I feel the way I feel. So as Magistrate Judge, this is an appointed position. I was appointed by the Chief Superior Court Judge. Superior Court Judge, Chief District Court Judge as well. And I was recommended by the Chief Magistrate Judge. So with this appointment, I don't have to run for re-election. And so it's an appointment pretty much with automatic reappointments. So I can serve for life. So it's pretty much a lifetime appointment. And you don't technically have a boss. My Superior Court judges and Magistrate Judges, they're there strictly for administrative matters. All of my orders are independent. Of course, I'm not gonna make no crazy order or anything like that. But if I go seek something under advisement or counsel, I'm going like that. So it's much different than an elected district court judge or elected Superior Court judge. With this type of appointment, like, I'm gonna be here for a while. So I gotta make sure I'm taking everything in and then putting the right things back out and like that. So it's sometimes very stressful, some days very stressful, because you're carrying the whole county and representing the county at all times. And but it's nothing I can't handle, for sure. Nothing at all.
Guys, we're talking to Nathan Weeks, Magistrate Judge down in North Carolina. Glad he's with us today. So you're talking about this weight that you carry, this responsibility you've been given. Kind of digressing back to the high school times, you served, you were a leader among your peers and stuff like that. Did you see yourself ever rising to this level of responsibility? And if so, congratulations on achieving some of those goals. If not, what's that like? How do you tell yourself, man, hey, you're going to be able to do this? How do you go back in time and tell this person, just keep shooting high, keep aiming high?
Okay. Now, I knew I could be a change agent, but I was more so like, okay, I'm going to be behind the scenes or be a part of the process, or I'll support whatever's going on. I can't say I outright said, okay, I'm going to be head, the face, the front line. No, but I'm definitely was willing to work and support any capacity I was given the opportunity to. And over time, it was more so I was being pushed into these roles of leadership from high school to college, and throughout college, you had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so over time, I garnered the grit to be able to carry it in a certain way, where I would carry it well to those that I represent and be effective at whatever position I was given. So no, I just knew I needed to work hard to get wherever I wanted to get. Mm-hmm. But of course, I definitely didn't see this in the cards. I just knew greatness was in store at whatever capacity it was going to manifest. But here I am.
That's good. You got to dream big to get big. So not everybody hasn't been pushed, doesn't get invited to get pushed, or may not have the confidence to dream big. Correct. So what would you say to the present day teenager who may be struggling, may have a similar background as you, may not, but is trying to navigate through this COVID stuff and is going without graduations, not playing high school sports, and not even necessarily getting those opportunities because school looks different right now, and is just struggling through that whole process? And what words of encouragement can you give them? What advice would you give the modern day high schooler?
Okay. So I say first and foremost, it's okay to feel however you feel. However you feel in that moment, own that. Take it all in, feel that completely, feel that emotion to its fullest, and then reset. There's many times in my life I had to recalibrate. I didn't think I was enough. I didn't think what I had was enough, my qualifications. I didn't think I was able, I had the ability to do whatever was asked of me. But I feel it, I brush it off, and I recalibrate. I feel like us as adults, like kids look up to us, like, or the young adults look up like, oh, we have it all together. No, there's been many failures and losses. But one thing is I'm never going to let someone outwork me at whatever capacity. And I've had to recalibrate many times. So I would say literally to dream big. If you're not dreaming where it scares you, or it's dreaming big and watching your circle. So if you're the sum total of the people around you, the 5 people that you're around is where you're going in life. So sometimes you have to augment your circle. You have to elevate your circle. You got to always go all out. Whatever it is you're going to do, if you're not going to do it 100%, there's no point in doing it. Life is very short. As we've seen in 2020, life comes and goes. Life can change at the blink of an eye. So whatever you're going to do, go all out. Trust yourself. Whatever your faith base is, you're gonna have to tap in and draw strength from God, because it's not always going to be that outside motivation. It's got to be intrinsic. You got to believe in yourself, even if it's just a little teeny bit. And then the next day, believe in yourself a little bit more. And momentum is real. Once you start walking, you can start picking up the pace. You start to jog a little bit. Then you start running. But you got to take steps every day. And I would say, like, look, it's okay to be down and out, but then when it's over, pick your bootstraps up, lace them up. Let's get it. And nobody's gonna, like, I have the mentality, nobody's gonna save me. So whatever problem I'm in, I gotta at least try to figure my way out. I gotta give God something to work with. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm putting some effort and energy to figure it out, then I can tap into a higher power to help me navigate me through that.
You got to be accountable to yourself first.
Sure.
You got to be willing to put in the effort. And, it's a great motto. I think some people continue to wait for somebody else to do it for them and realizing, hey, man, it starts with you.
Yeah, if people can be more amped to help you if they see you trying.
Right. Exactly. I've got this new motto. It's kind of this new brand I have. It's called Fall Forward. But the idea is everyone's going to fall down, but fall in this direction. Don't go back. We're not going back. Fall forward. Pick yourself up, fall forward again. And then eventually, but you're still moving forward.
Let me speak on that real quick. Just 2 seconds, right? It's funny that you said that. I was with my trainer 2 days ago. We were working out, and it was crazy. I feel like I was about to pass out. He asked me, "You feel like you're gonna pass out?" I'm not gonna admit that. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. He was like, "Okay, well," because I'm thinking he's gonna say, "Okay, let's take a break." He said, "Well, give me another set, and if you pass out, just pass out in that direction, because that's where the it's softer over there." But he was like, "Whatever you do, you're gonna pass out while you're moving forward." So that just coincides and piggybacks off what you just said. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you get that last set in?
Huh?
Did you do that?
I did. All I had to do was like literally, okay, I adopted the mindset. I'm going to do this. Even though I don't feel like I'm going to do it, I'm just going to push it out, and literally these work.
It's great. It's interesting because, the metaphor is you always got a little bit more in you. You don't think you do. You always got that last set. You always got that one more thing. So to kind of keep pushing yourself forward. But just the idea of service and a bigger thing. Has anything been going on in your life since graduation, in other areas that you've been able to call yourself a servant or serving other people, whether it's on college campuses or in the community that you want to highlight?
Well, I actually just love working with people. So I've worked with different organizations throughout, some notable and some nameless, just because I don't serve to be recognized in my service. I work with the homeless community quite a bit. That's a huge problem here in Mecklenburg County. And so I really I didn't always have it. So a lot of the homeless individuals, even I come across in court, I'll ask them, how did you find a situation? Well, I had a job, and in 2020, everything tanked. So it's me and my family out here. My heart goes out to people like that, because it could just be one simple thing to change the direction of your life. So if one bad thing can change the direction of life, what can one good thing do? What can one good deed do? Can I shine some light in your life on today? I'm getting into the big brother Big Brother program. I'm working with the YMCA as well, Urban League. A lot of things have been put on hold because of COVID, but I'm actively trying to get back, re-engage the community. I'm in the process of getting appointed to some community engagement boards right now as we speak. So hopefully by the time this airs, it'll be all 100% official. And I have other areas of service. I do, prior to this, I did government contract work. So I did protection. So I've served as, a protective agent for presidential candidates, a lot of religious leaders. I work with Bishop T.D. Jakes, Pastor Mike Todd, Pastor Steve Furtick, and actually really enjoy protecting them quite a bit. But I've done just different areas of service.
You're no small guy, so I mean.
Yeah, not at all. Yes, sir.
You're an athlete. You grew up an athlete. You enjoyed kind of pushing your body to that max. And imagine us being in that situation. We didn't get to play your senior year. You didn't get to play. You had this college scholarship, and then you don't get to play your first year. How do those youth navigate it? How could they navigate it? What are, words of wisdom, thoughts do you have on that subject?
Yeah, man, my heart goes out to the young athletes, male and female, that have had to augment their seasons because of COVID. A lot of colleagues of mine, they're coaches on the high school and in NCAA. And so I've asked them quite a few, like, how you guys doing your seasons? How the kids, and like, they're just as devastated as the athletes. And so for these young athletes that I know some have, the NCAA has tried to find ways to not penalize them and their eligibility, not penalize them and having to red shirt and things like that. So I just say, look, you are a very unique generation. This is a very unique class of athletes. And so you're going to have to roll with the punches. But however, whatever seat you find yourself in, try to find a benefit. Utilize it so that it benefits you. If you have to stay another year, that last year, you better go all out. If you miss your senior year, you better go all out during this off season, and then your first opportunity in college, push. Also, I'd push them to try to seek out opportunities, because the NCAA is really helping. Reach out to these colleges. You might not have got that senior year tape, but push your junior year tape. Reach out to these schools. Let them know you're serious. That's all these coaches want to see. They want to see someone that's hungry. And so to the athletes, stay hungry. Be hungrier now. Your plate's empty. So it's time to eat up.
Yeah, do that extra set, eat up.
Exactly. Yep. To all you guys watching, this Hometown Heroes, this Delmarva, okay? Salisbury is rich in love and community. If we don't have anything else, we definitely have community. And so I would say, take the time to actually pour back into your community, because you have to be a shining light in darkness. And Salisbury can sometimes be small. It can sometimes seem like there's not as much resources that are there. But I just urge people to come back and pour back into these communities, because I plan on coming back and pour my community, even if I'm not living there. Whether it's businesses, whether it's opportunities or public service or community service, I want to come pour back. So I look forward to being back in Salisbury. I look forward to helping out the community and just being a shining light. And I want to also help bridge the gap for opportunity to young men and women in Salisbury that may not see that all the time, and let them know, hey, it's a way out and it's a way up.
I couldn't have said any better, man. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Nathan, we'd love to have you back in Salisbury anytime, whether it's just visiting or permanent. If I need a lawyer, I know who I'm talking to. I wish you the best of luck. I congratulate you on your recent successes and the opportunities. Continue to fall forward, do that extra set, and dream big.
All right. Thanks a lot, Andy. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everybody who tuned in to watch Hometown Heroes here on PAC 14. If you'd like to nominate someone to be featured on Hometown Heroes, please contact George Whitehead at 410-749-1480 or email him at giwhitehead@salisbury.edu.
You too can be a hometown hero in PAC 14.